Hello and welcome. What you are looking at right now requires some explanation. You see, I've been eyeing a rather exciting ITX tower chassis on Aliexpress for a while. You are looking at it right now. The initial version was made of aluminum, and the price was just too much. I was never going to pay $400 for a case from an unknown manufacturer, so I waited. What did I wait for, you may ask? I was waiting for a bootleg version. Yep, you heard me right. There has been no exception. When something seemingly nice shows up on AliExpress, a bootleg version will show up in due time. You are looking at the bootleg version right now. It shows $63, but I got it at $35 during a sale period. This is made from 3D printing, and obviously it will be weak. It may even be unusable. But it will probably be good enough to see the concept behind this case and whether it's actually practical, so here we are. The box came with no manual whatsoever. Therefore, I am forced to analyze pictures of the case to figure out how to put it together. Anyway, feeling the parts, I can already tell that this case will most likely be unusable. A bit of good news is that they at least had the decency of using threaded inserts. Otherwise, this kit would have been unusable. I started with what was obvious, the motherboard backplate. I would build around this. What wasn't obvious was how the rest of pieces would get together. I must note that I tried to do this without looking at the photos initially. I did eventually took a glimpse at the photos to fasten the progress. What made me a little frustrated was the fact that they used two differently sized screws. One was ever so slightly thicker than the other by like 0.5 millimeters, and I had to try them actually to see whether they'd screw in. Another aspect was that the whole thing was really quite flimsy. I couldn't dare tightening screws too hard. I would hear cracks when I did so once. Thus, I had to be quite gentle with it. I expected issues, and the first real issue emerged during power supply installation. This case takes on SFX power supply only, and it was supposed to allow me to install the power supply where its ventilation would face outward so that it could breathe outside air. However, in reality, I was forced to make the vent face inwards, essentially choking it. This is very likely an oversight on the bootlegger's part rather than a design flaw. Whatever the case, what's more important is that you simply cannot install the power supply the other way. This makes this specific case very much unusable for long term. With that out of the way, I moved onto the bottom where 3 screws would secure it with the motherboard backplate. It feels like the whole thing is very much dependent on friction and weight instead of the screws. One careless touch or a knock would crumble the whole thing. The design concept made sense, however. If made with proper material, this case would work. I still wouldn't pay $400 for the original version though. That's just way too much. The second significant issue was cable management or the lack thereof. Again, I think this is the bootlegger's oversight. There was just no good way to route cables. I tried a bottom hole, but the cables were too short. The side gap didn't work either. It was just too small. That left the top, which worked, but would ultimately prevent me from installing the grill top. Well, I did not bother installing a GPU because I've seen enough. I believe this is nice enough concept and the case works. It just needs to be made with proper material and care. The original version is still way overpriced though. I've said that numerous times now. There are several versions of this case actually. The best one is the one I showed you in the beginning, the one with aluminum. Others include glass or acrylic side panels with cheaper base materials. Personally, I think encasing it is a bad idea for thermals. This case needs to be open to work properly. Otherwise, I believe it will become a literal furnace. It is small enough that it can get away with an open concept. Now, as for how to find this case on Aliexpress, there isn't a specific word to find it. Just search for ITX case, and you will eventually see several results that look alike what you are looking at. Then you need to decide how much you want to spend. Cheap ones, generally under 50, are 3D printed crap like the one I have. The higher you go, the better materials you will see. The top end one is made of aluminum. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.